We begin tonight with a KREM 2 investigation. A University of Idaho volleyball player is speaking out tonight after filing an official complaint against head coach Chris Gonzalez.
She says that she and her teammates have experienced almost daily abuse, harassment, and even intimidation. When I sat down with her one-on-one, she also said the university isn't doing enough to protect them.
Kind of immediately, you could tell something was off.
Emma Patterson has been playing volleyball since the 3rd grade. She started her college career in Alaska, but jumped at the chance last year to transfer to the University of Idaho.
I'm actually a 4th-generation Vandal. My mother and father, grandma, grandpa, great-grandmother, and great-grandfather all came through the university.
Let's see if Idaho can win a long one.
But she says her dream team quickly took a dark turn because of head coach Chris Gonzalez.
He physically pushed a girl to the ground during practice when he had jumped into the drill, when he called the girls linebackers, implying that, that he's not feeding them well because they need to lose weight. Last year, there was a African-American girl on the team, and he made kind of racial comments about that.
Set, then your side, wow!
She says the abuse was almost daily, some players being targeted more than others, and some incidents dating back to the 2022 season when Gonzalez was first hired.
We talk about not building a culture, but rather building a set of values that are important to us.
Hearing about all of that and then combining that with my personal experiences this year really set off kind of the sirens of this needs to change.
What was it that made you feel like it wasn't just tough coaching, but something that rose to a level where it needed to be reported to the university?
When he started talking about being able to say and do anything he wants to the international girls on the team because they can't leave, and was ignoring injuries, that's when it really started to become like, this isn't okay.
Last October, Emma filed this official complaint with the university's Office of Civil Rights and Investigations, claiming things like body shaming, ignoring medical advice, and putting players at greater risk of injury, withholding food, and creating a culture of fear, humiliation, embarrassment, and intimidation. She also says at one point an assistant coach drove several players in a team van at almost 100 miles an hour. She shared this video with KREM 2 of the speedometer hovering just under 100. And when questioned about it later, Emma says the head coach dismissed their concerns and told the U of I athletic department that the women were making it up. Emma says the situation was so bad, the women asked that the official investigation be delayed until the end of the season.
We were informed that our names would be released to the coaches as soon as the investigation started. And we were so worried about retaliation and our safety that we didn't want him to still be responsible for our care and know who we are.
According to Emma's complaint here, she says more than a dozen players also endured similar abuse. And they often said that if they took those concerns directly to university officials to report it, they said they were often not taken seriously or sometimes outright dismissed. So I took those concerns to the top communications director here at the University of Idaho. When did the university first learn about these accusations against the volleyball coach?
So my understanding is the first allegations came into athletics and for review in October. Then on the request of the complainants, anything further was delayed, and then the investigation began then in December.
Does it concern the university that 13 young women have come forward and said that they have ongoing complaints?
Anytime there's a concern brought to the university, that's taken very seriously.
So I'm just going through this particular complaint from Emma. She addressed a number of things, including comments about looks, driving players to and from events at almost 100 miles an hour, retaliating if actions are reported. Are those particular things acceptable from coaching here at the University of Idaho?
I can't speak about a particular investigation or specific complaints.
But are those particular things?
I can't speak about them.
But in general, if anyone was doing that who was a staff member at the University of Idaho, do you think that those things are acceptable?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Emma received this notice from the university acknowledging her official complaint, saying if substantiated, the conduct could violate certain policies. It implemented a limited no-contact order for everyone involved, saying communications should be restricted only to those necessary for official team activities. It did not give an estimate for when the investigation could be complete. The university denied a KREM 2 public records request for additional information.
What can you tell me about what the university is doing currently
So right now, the outside investigators are looking into the allegations within the volleyball department. They have been asked to work expediently and bring us back a full report.
But you have no idea what the timeline is for that?
I don't.
How long does that process generally take?
It depends on the specific investigation.
Ballpark.
It depends.
Months?
It
Years?
depends. It depends.
Okay, so then the report comes back, and who gets it?
And those reports go to the president.
And anyone else? Then
I
what?
don't know.
You don't know where those reports go?
No, I don't.
Do you have a message to students who feel that their concerns are not being addressed?
So as I've said, anytime that a student brings concerns forth to the university, we take those very seriously. We do look into them and take action as necessary.
Emma tells me she's received no further communication from the university, but she vows to continue playing volleyball at U of I for herself and her teammates.
If we all leave, who's there to make sure it doesn't keep happening?
Big dig, nice pass, great setup.
You know, I had some great coaches up in Alaska, and just even growing up, that's kind of why I got here and I'm at this level. And so I know what hard coaching looks like. I was lucky to know the difference, to know that the jump from high school to college doesn't mean a jump from, you know, your high school coaches to abusive coaching.
Good bump there in the back row by U of I.
Still, with spring practices starting up soon and with Gonzalez still in place as the head coach, she tells me she worries about what the next season of Vandal volleyball will bring.
I am really, really afraid because I have been so vocal about everything that I'm going to be experiencing extreme retaliatory action. I don't know why the school and the athletics department is choosing, or at least what it feels like is they're choosing an abusive coach over 13 girls. We tried to follow the student athlete handbook, you know, use all of the tools that we were given to hopefully receive an appropriate response. But every single turn, it feels like we've been brick walled. So where do we go now, you know?
The university says its inquiry into these allegations against Coach Gonzalez has been widened now to also look at the climate and culture of the team. Now, when we reached out to Chris Gonzalez, he declined to comment until the investigation is complete, but told KREM 2 he has and will continue to cooperate fully in all aspects of the investigation. And for a full look at Emma's 12-page complaint and to read the university's full response letter, just go to our website, krem.com.